Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome aboard the M60A1 RISE P, and this is the tank that gave the patch 1.71 its name, a new era. Explosive reactive armor, and those are the plates on the front and the turret, which are great against chemical energy based weapons such as HE, heat FS and also hash. However, this patch has seen a complete change in the meta. CAS is practically not existent anymore. Yeah, here and there a few people still try, but most of the time you have to face either cannon CAS or bomb CAS, and against those two types you have a much easier life than against a rocket CAS of previous patches. That means you have much more of a tank RB feeling compared to CAS RB feeling. I like that. What I do not really like is the M60A1 RISE P in its entirety. I like certain aspects of it, but in short summary it feels like a mouse at tier 6. What I mean by that? Well, it's one of the slowest tanks at rank 6 so far, or that battle rating, and much like on the Type 74, to which you can compare it to a certain degree, I ask myself, why the battle rating of 8.3? Why? Well, one thing might be the APFSDS share, and well, I think let's begin while talking about the upgrade way and the ammunition. So first of all, the E.R.A plates are not an upgrade, they come by default. Then the stock shell is like on the M60A1 AOS and also the Type 74, the M728 APFSDS shell with 321mm of penetration. That is not bad. And then here is the change compared to the M60 AOS, M60A1 AOS. The hash shell is a tier 1 upgrade, but hash is not that useful in this patch. Then the heat FS shell, the M456 with 400mm of penetration. Well, it is a tier 2 upgrade. That is great for the stock run. That is really great. Smoke shell at tier 3 as a tier 3 upgrade, and as a tier 4 upgrade, the M735 APFSDS shell with 360mm of penetration. And it might be this stock shell, or it might be that upgrade shell, that I think serves this tank best. And now let's compare it back again to the mouse. Compared to its well, competition, the mouse has one of the longest reloads, and this is also the worst L7 gun variant when it comes to reloads. Now the Vickers MBT is the best with 5 seconds flat for an ace crew. I use here an expert crew and have a reload of 8.8 seconds. Now with an ace crew it doesn't get that much better, but you just have an old loading system. You have not an well, autoloader, you have a human loader. That means when you're down to 2 crew members, which happens very often after the first hit, well, you have a long reload, and you also can't beat the T64 and the Kampfpanzer 70 with their automatic reload on bigger guns with better stock penetration. That is a bit annoying, to be honest. But overall, it's also the speed. You just have half the horsepower to ton ratio of the Kampfpanzer 70, and you also don't have the reverse speed, the maneuverability. Everything feels much more sluggish on this tank. It's by no means a bad tank, but I just had not very good experience so far, and it immediately remembered me of my experiences that I had with the M60 and the M60A1 AOS. It's not different. I have overall the same, well, L7 gun feeling. Unreliable, not very enjoyable, and still stock grind. Again, it's nowhere near as painful as the previous 2 tanks, but still I cannot recommend this tank as your first tier 6 tank. Go for the MBT-70, go for the T64, go for the Kampfpanzer 70. Go for every other tank as your first tier 6 tank to fully embrace the rank 6 feeling. Maybe the Chieftain Mark 10 is kind of the same, but it also has this awesome gun and also an upgraded shell. And a bit better turret armor with the steel brew, so you can actually go hull down, which you can't with this tank because everybody and its mother or his mother or her mother, whatever, always hits my turret ring on the move. In so many matches I received massive damage from this, completely bypassing the E.R.A armor that doesn't do too much against APFSDS, which seems to be the new king of shells. So I see no more British tanks dispensing hash like previously. Again, you kind of suffer a little bit from the lack of hash spam. Really, I mean it like that, because you could just absorb the first shot and after that just try to deal with the enemy with your first shot and then hopefully have a advantage. So the E.R.A protection is not the selling point. The mobility isn't either, and the firepower is still meh in comparison. It still works most of the time, and also this T62 had no chance, but then again, did I have here a good chance against this tank because I was an M60A1 RISE P? I think I could have done this pretty much with every other 8.3 8.7 tank. This Leopard is still repairing, kill his commander, gunner, further damage the cannon breach and the horizontal turret drive. That means he has reduced repair speed and also has more to repair, so I have the time to finish him off with the next hit to kill finally the gunner. You're practically like a mouse overall, but without APHE, and also the secondary gun is not the best thing. Then there's also this big cupola, so that most of the tanks, or actually all the tanks, still can finish you off with a single APHE round. I further have to say that I take the minimal possible amount of ammunition, I hope so, to further decrease the chance of a turret M.R.A detonation, which happened in the first few games to me as well. I also get hit always in my gun breach together with the turret ring, which is highly annoying because then I also lose 1 or 2 crew members, long repair times, longer reload. You know that drill. I'm massively spoiled by the T64 and the Kampfpanzer 70 again. They just hover over the battlefield in comparison. They have better guns, better stabilizer, better overall performance. And again, then this leads to this tank's demise, so to speak. Again, you can kill stuff, you can perform with this. I understand everybody that likes this tank because sometimes you have those good battles, but then again, I ask myself, is it because I have the armor and the speed and this gun, or was I just at the right position at the right time? And most of the time I think it's because of being at the right time and the right position. Except for example this situation. I come around the corner and boom! I got hit by an ATGM and it detonated on the upper frontal plate and didn't go through. But then again, the E.R.A plates, they actually absorbed the entire damage, but sometimes they don't. And look at that! I think I could have killed this guy when I would have loaded an heat defense shell, but it did minimal damage and he was confused by machine gun fire, dunked the second shot. It's good that I have a T10M. Do you know what that means? I had the advantage of still having a good reload and he dunked 2 shots at me, which usually never happens, and that secured me the ace, but I still needed 2 shots and a lot of luck. So I think this battle showed it all. You need to be defensive, you need to be cold-blooded, you need to make the important shots, try to avoid getting shot in the first place, and then again, you know, this tank is the tank that gave the patch its name, E.R.A, a new E.R.A. Explosive reactive armor. And it's the worst type of good armor that you can have, because after the first hit it's gone, and then you're down to just being a normal M60A1 with a better stock grind and a better top end shell, in my opinion. That's not too convincing. Okay, so I cannot really say that I'm impressed by this tank. I'm not, but I'm not saying it's useless, but it's definitely not the best tank that there is for the new patch. Overall, for the entire matter of the game, I have to ask myself for this tank much the same that I ask always myself about the Type 74. Why 8.3? It's an 8.0 tank, okay? It doesn't have too many advantages. And I heard this Leopard, so that was why I actually went down that road. And I charged through the smoke. His gun breach is disabled. He moves, so he's not repairing. He lost crew members, and yeah, that shell went right through and, well, did nothing really. But still, I have enough time. He can't repair. He's still moving and maneuvering. He has no way to escape me. And yeah, you can see the neutral steering. It's so strange. It's so sluggish, really. I cannot recommend it. So let's quickly recap. The E.R.A armor is a one-trick pony. Against most of the enemies that you face, it does not really give you an advantage. Then your stabilizer is not a very good stabilizer compared to the MBT-70 or the Kampfpanzer or the T-64A. You feel too slow compared to everything around you. You have the longest reload on any L7 gun together with the Type 74. And yeah, you have a better stock grind compared to the M60A1 RISE. And that's practically what this tank is. That's not my final verdict. Maybe we will see a decompression in the next few weeks, I hope so, with the highly anticipated BR adjustment patch. I hope that this will be a success with a lot of decompression, but still I don't think that this tank will face a glorious time anytime soon. It's just an M60 with good looking additional armor. That's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this tank, the compression, what it faces. Have you gone for this kind of tank grind and not the MBT-70? Do you regret it? Do you think this is a good tank for what it is or where it is? Do you think it's competitive? Do you think it's absolutely bad and non-competitive? Let me know in the comment section. So again, please don't forget to like this video. I would highly appreciate that. Subscribe if you want to see more, which I hope you'll do. And we'll see each other on the battlefields and in the skies of War Thunder.